We're out on a farm site. There's some old furniture we've got to deal with. I've been instructed to clear it out as quick as I can, well, as efficiently as I can, and send the guy some money. Could be interesting. Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. We're here about 10 k's out from Nagambie on a local farm site. There's some furniture here behind the camera that we're going to have a bit of a look at. There's a tarp over the top of it. We've basically got to pick what we can salvage and take it back to the shop and sell it. So let's have a look. Okay, we haven't had a very good look. Christine's here to help me, and we're going to basically just pull it out a bit and just inspect. Apparently the white goods work. There's lots of antique chairs and there's a wardrobe at the back there. Now the story is a lot of this stuff was in some sort of country motel holiday units, and the guy that used to manage it, he's getting on a bit. I think he's just turned 80 and he's decided to relocate his life to the Philippines of all places, and he's just tidying up all the loose ends, and he says he doesn't want any of this. Clearly you're not going to take second-hand furniture to the Philippines. So he basically called me out, said, can you help me out? What can we sell? How can we clear it all up? He didn't really want to throw it out, which is great. I was pleased to hear that. So we're just going to have a bit of an inspect today. This series might be a number of parts. I'll take you through what we think is of value, what we reckon we can sell things for, how much work we've got to put into it. I don't want to put in too much work. There is a nice old mantle clock at home that I grabbed the day I was out here because it was in danger of getting wet in the bad weather. And I said to the guy, look, we're happy to sell your stuff, but I need to account for my time as well. I'm not going to go halves. And that was a deal. I said I'd go halves, but I'm not going to go halves with everything if I have to spend a few hours getting things saleable. That's a nice old Victorian, I think you'd call it a toilet mirror. It would go on the top of a chest of drawers, maybe in a bedroom, and perhaps with a wash basin or something. So that's a nice original antique. Don't bring so much anymore. There's some nice looking chairs, and there's lots of little pot cupboards, bedside cupboards. The wardrobe there, very hard to sell wardrobes. It looks like it's missing a pelmet off the top of it. All right, we'll pull a few bits out. We'll show you what we're going to take back today. We've got the van here, and we'll probably do a number of trips out here as we can fit stuff in the shop. So I didn't get that on film, but Christine just jumped back about 10 feet in one stride, because under here we have a nice black creepy crawly.
It's not nice.
Well, and he's not a creepy crawly, he's a spider. That's just a normal everyday black house spider. They can bite, but I don't think they're deadly at all. We'll flick him to one side. Oh, exercise equipment. I hate selling exercise equipment. There might be some scrap metal value here. Did you see this? That's a really nice, looks sort of 1930s pot plant stand or a pedestal of some sort.
I'm still watching the spider.
Yes. Show us your scared face. So just organising what we're going to put in the van. We've got a bit of a mixture. These bar stools are quite nice. They're modern. They're very modern. They're probably only 20 years old tops, but bar stools always sell very well. We have numerous boxes of kitchenalia and just general bric-a-brac. I think what's in this one, yeah, kitchen stuff. One of them does have some old tools in it. Oh, when I say old tools, they're like power tools, and I don't think they're that old anyway. There's lots of these pot cupboards, all different sorts. The drawers down the back are modern, but they'll sell quite well. These ones are often used as bedside tables. They were originally for chamber pots. That's why they're called a pot cupboard. A chamber pot being a receptacle that saved you going outside to the toilet in the middle of the night back in the day. So there's lots of different styles. That's a nice American oak one. They sell quite well. Yeah, it's cute. And they're all in pretty reasonable condition. I really like this stool. It's a real sort of rough timber look. Pretty good condition, so that will sell very well. Some of these chairs are nice, whereas some of the chairs are quite modern, as I pointed out before. There's a whole heap of prints. Some of them have been wet. What have you found there?
I don't know. I like this.
Oh yeah, that looks like an Australian bush scene, maybe in the Blue Mountains somewhere. So it's probably, it's a bit water damaged at the top corner.
Oh, it is too.
But that would probably sell okay. There's a few original paintings, but I think they're the Chinese formula paintings, so they're probably 1970s or 80s, mass produced. They are original oil paintings, but they're just basically mass produced. The chiffonier in here, not chiffonier, the credenza in here is really nice, but I think he wants to hang on to that, because when I first talked to him, I didn't really suggest antique furniture was getting much money, which is the truth. And we think this mirror might be off the credenza, so it's a really nice early, well, not early Victorian, probably 1870s, 1880s, beautiful piece of furniture. And back in the 1980s, it would have made probably 2 or 3 grand. Nowadays, I'll see if I can get a better look at it for you. That's a credenza. They often had marble tops. It's basically like a sideboard or a hall table for a large hall, and or an entrance foyer. There's some beautiful decoration on it. This would have made probably at least 3 grand back in the heydays of antique furniture, and it's been now just sitting in the dirt with bird shit on it. But at this stage he doesn't want to sell it because I talked it way down. We might be able to come to an arrangement. It'd be a shame for it to be just left here to rot. There's some other bits and pieces here, some dressing tables. These chairs are really nice. There's 4 of these chairs, very decorative on the back. So we're basically, what have you found there?
Well, no, I think I might keep this
Oh, okay, a base cabinet.
because I need it for a projector.
Oh, okay, well hopefully the timber at the bottom hasn't soaked up moisture, because the cardboard certainly has. Is it wrapped in some plastic?
Looks alright.
Yeah, it might have swollen. That chipboard just swells up. There's a few mechanical things here. There was a Mariner outboard motor. I don't know its condition. And down the back we saw a nice old cylinder mower. Now these things are becoming quite collectible nowadays, if I work my way around to the back. It's a pretty early one. It looks 1960s to me, maybe even late 50s. Not sure what the engine is. It's possibly a Villiers or something. It's got a little clutch on it. So those mowers actually kind of sell pretty well now. They've got a bit of a collectible following. Don't know that the bike's going to be much good. And we're fortunate. Oh, there's an engine down there. Honda, maybe it's on a pump perhaps. We're fortunate that John, the owner, says that we can leave what we don't want. And I'm not going to be able to do anything with this lounge suite. It's quite worn, it's quite grubby, and it's basically just sitting in the dirt, and it's going to cost me to get rid of it. So I think I'll have to handball that back to John, and perhaps the owner of the property and John have an arrangement where anything that's left they can get rid of. That's probably 1950s. It's a machine-made dovetail little set of drawers, quite cute. They always sell quite well. This table, I think the more modern chairs go with this table, so it's quite a modern one. You will find that's not even real timber. It's probably going to be an MDF. Let's see if we can have a look underneath. Very modern. So, and it's been sitting in the mud. But even apart from that, those sort of tables are almost impossible to sell. This table though, under here, is an early one, and I don't know if you'll pick that up on the camera, but it's actually a tilt top. And they used to bring around about $1,000, those tilt top tables. I think it might be a cedar. It's a bit hard to tell, but that might be worth taking back into the shop. Yeah, and I'm still undecided on the wardrobe. What's this one? Just a chest of drawers. Quite worn. Look, the door stop has rubbed right through the base of the drawer. Well, there's no stop on it. It would have originally had little nails with a stop there both sides to stop the drawers doing this, stops them pushing right in. And often they break off and the nails just work back and forward on the bottom of the drawer, and this is what happens. It cuts right through the drawer. It's also had pieces put on here because it's been so well used. They've had to repair the sides because they wear out, and you'll see the runners on here are totally worn away. So it's not worth very much at all. Even in good condition, it's hard to sell these sort of drawers, but in this condition, it's not much good at all. Bit of a shame. Sometimes I save the tops and put them on the old treadle bases. They look all right.
It's a nice chair.
Oh, it's a little corner chair. That is cute. It's a shame the birds have been making a mess on it, but that might clean up. That's really cute. That would sell very well. We might put that in now, actually. All right, enough of my chatter. We better get back to it. Okay, that will do for this trip. I didn't want to overload the van or load it up too much. Not that I'm worried about the capacity of the van. I just didn't want to have it full of stuff for another week. So I hope to process most of this over the next couple of days. This was interesting. It's a painting. Looks like a homemade painting. Can't read the name. The frame's not bad. But it's interesting in the fact that what's on the back of it's probably more valuable than what's on the front, or it would have been. Have a look at this. The board they've used is an early advertisement for a 1960s VW Beetle, and it says shipping a car on the Princess of Tasmania. How cool is that? It's a shame they've cut that down. That would have been a great piece of advertising, worth a lot more than someone's attempt at painting some river red gums. Anyway, you get that. Found a few more. That's a Darcy Doyle painting, probably a print. Almost certainly a print, or maybe a copy. It's unfortunately hasn't got any glass over it. The glass has been broken. This little step thing is actually a toolbox of sorts, and inside it we find fishing gear. So, there's a hole saw, so there's a few tools as well. That's a more vintage fishing reel. A bit rusty, maybe had a bit of water in there. So we'll go through that. Some of the old fishing lures can be worth a bit. Oh, there's some big lures in there. Alright, I'll go through that over the weekend.
I have a question.
Kristen has a question.
If I find jewellery,
If you find jewellery, is it yours?
is it mine?
It depends if you tell me about it. Oh, you found jewellery?
Yeah, I think this is actually jewellery making stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, look at that. There's stuff in the drawers. No, as usual, if we find good stuff, we always give the owner kickbacks. It's the best advertising we can do for our business. And you earn very good karma doing that. Can't see anything in there interesting.
No, it's jewellery making stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also actually noticed with this wardrobe, and the pelmet is the other side of it, so it is complete, but it looks like it's still full of clothes. Interesting. We can't get in there at the moment. We'll check that out next time. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do for now. We'll just make sure the rest of it's covered up and out of the weather. Oh, I want to take this little pedestal. I might throw that in the back of the van too. I think that mirror goes with one of those dressing tables over there. And the toilet mirror here I'll take back and clean up. It looks to be in pretty reasonable condition. Whoops, let's hope it stays that way. I think it's cedar. It would be probably 1880s, 1890s. It's a bit damaged at the top. But we'll take that back, give it a clean up. All right, I think we're done here this time. Okay, we'll call this part one. It could be an interesting journey, and it's going to be interesting to see what it all prices out at. I think I mentioned before that I'm basically going to go halves with John, and I'll be transferring him the money once things sell. So normally we work to a better margin than this. We like to triple our money on deals. But in this case, there's not a lot of small stuff, and we have the big advantage of not having to pay anything until we've actually sold it. So that's worth a bit to us. So we'll finish up here. This was part one. Look out for my next video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.